In late September 2021, I headed up to Victoria's highest peak, Mt Bogong, just north of Falls Creek, to meet up with my mates who get together for an annual backcountry skiing trip that they've been doing for the last 3 years now. And I'm joining them this year for my first time skiing the Australian backcountry, so I didn't really know what to expect, but it turned out to be much better than I ever could have imagined. Hiking up through the tree line was interesting with your skis and boots hanging from your pack, but 3 hours later, after making the appropriate stops of course, we reached to the top of the tree line and it was time to put the skis on, which is quite a tedious task given the weather conditions. As the sun was starting to fall beyond the horizon, we reached our summit and started our traverse towards the hut. Night fell and the head torches went on as we descended to the Cleve Cole Memorial Hut, where we would call home for the next few days. After an early greeting from the sun, it was time to set out with our skins and day packs on for our first day out on the snow. As no one wanted, but we all expected after reading the wind predictions, the wind had a bit of push behind it. But after learning, as long as you didn't let go of anything or lose your footing, skiing was on. On the third morning we had our high winds again, so we decided it was going to be a slow morning. While some of us had nice mornings, others had quite rude wake-up calls by the wind, followed by a bit of tent repair. After this wind warning, we decided on the morning's activity, which was to make wind walls for our tents. I struck a good deal of stealing my mate's snow shovel to make my wind wall, while he made coffee for the both of us, because that's what friends are for. After everyone was satisfied with their snow walls, we geared up for some boot packing out south of the hut. We were led to some steep runs out of the wind and in the sun, and they were just asking to be torn into. So we obliged.
Thursday afternoon, got in our second run on the chutes around Cleve Cole. Staying away from the summit as it is ignorantly windy. Looking forward to lunch and enjoying Cleve Cole.
After a very steep day, we were back to the hut for dinner, enjoying the warmth and serenity of the walls that didn't flap, before we had to tuck into our tents and try out our new snow walls for the night. After the coldest night we had up there, we were rewarded with the silence of no wind. But the same amount of coffee. It was rinse and repeat for half of us who were staying up another night. but it was goodbye for some, after a quick run or two of course, before heading home. After saying goodbye, a bit more skiing and lunch was in order for us who were staying another night. After a big day of skiing, we got to enjoy the most vibrant sunset for our last night in the tents. On the way home, my mates decided they needed a few more laps in before heading home, so I decided to get some shots from the other side of the valley. It's hard to say I wasn't jealous, of some parts at least. On the walk off the mountain, my mates were asking me if I'd be coming back next year, to which my response was, how could I not?